I see you imported some plants and you're clicking on this video for tips on how to acclimate them, or maybe what to even expect when you're importing plants, or maybe the thought is just in your head and you want to know what the importing process on houseplants is even like. Well, welcome to the video where we figure that out together. Hi everyone, I'm Marina and this is Millennial Planter. Thanks so much for clicking on the video, and just give you a quick rundown on my experience with importing plants. This is my fourth import. I will have the unboxing video linked above. It's from a company called Soil, and I just wanted to document my whole experience on what it was like to receive these plants, how I got them used to my current house environment, what the process has been like, because if you don't know, importing plants can be really stressful, and plants can take a really quick turn and just fall right downhill and completely die. I have had this happen in, I think it was my first ever importing experience. One plant was a Philadelphia Florida Ghost. The Florida Ghost it was bad. It came in really bad. And the next plant was an Anthurium vitarifolium, and that plant had horrible bruising on it. And even though the plant looked healthy, aside from the little bruises on the leaves, literally within the next few days the plant slowly started to come apart. It was the strangest thing. It had perfectly healthy white juicy roots, and the foliage was still really green. It wasn't faded. It didn't look like it was dying off. It just had those little bruises, those little marks on a few leaves, and that whole bruising just completely took over the plant, and slowly, like, it was just coming off. It was so weird, so bizarre. Never had an experience like that. So with that being my first importing experience, I've been kind of burned and kind of super paranoid when it comes to imports. Thankfully, my other experiences importing have been very successful and went very well, and my plants recovered great. I'm not one that like really imports plants often, maybe once a year if that. So that's why I said that we're going to be figuring this out together. I'm going to be showing you the process of when I got these plants to a month later. So this video is over a course of time, and unfortunately I did have some footage at the beginning and I accidentally deleted it. So we're gonna pick up 4 days later. I left my plants soaking in water, which I always do because you really want to rehydrate your plant. And I just feel like water is a very neutral environment, you know, that way they're able to get as much water as they need. And my next tip is to definitely try to get them in some sort of humid environment, whether that is some sort of like propagation tank or like a plastic bin that you use for storage. That's what I use. Just some way to get them into a higher humid environment, because that's really going to make a huge difference in their recovery time. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing how my plants did, some regrets that I had when it came to this import, and how I treated my plants after, how I treated my plants for pests, just all the things that you would probably have questions about when it comes to those plants. So I hope you all enjoy. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. This is still a learning journey for me and not something that I do too often at all. So let's just get into the video. So right off the bat, you can see how much better they're doing. Like, okay, this all white leaf here on the Syngonium albo completely like just came out. They're about to unfurl. And the Melanochrysum here, that one is coming out of its sheath, I think, maybe. I don't know, it looks weird, but it's coming out and it looks healthy. So that's really exciting. The Anthurium had a little bit of a spike. I don't expect anything from the spike yet. And then this is the Frydek, and the Frydek was sad. This leaf was gonna die, but I knew that from the start. However, the bulb is really healthy and it still has some good roots. So I'm probably gonna stick that one in some sort of like moss or soil. I don't know yet. But yeah, like right off the bat, they all look really good. I kind of thought this leaf was gonna drop, or this one, but
it didn't. I really think the water and the humidity like helped prevent any further leaf loss.
So this is when I started to pot them up after I showed you that last clip. This is day 4 and the roots are really healthy. There's no further rotting because there was some slight rotting when I unpackaged them. They were in transit for 10 days, so that's expected, but the roots didn't get any further rot, and whatever leaves were stuck mainly from the syngonium, they started to unfurl, and everything just looked really great, really healthy, and I'm still so happy about this outcome. Like, it was the best experience hands down. I was a little nervous about the roots on this Anthurium crystallinum because they did have some brown areas. However, they were great. They didn't get any worse. I did end up doing a hydrogen rinse, which I will show in a few clips. But this melanochrysum also was still doing really great despite me cutting off all of its roots. It's held on like a champ. Those leaves didn't drop. That new growth ended up drying off, but it's fine. And next I am just going to rinse the plants down very thoroughly before I pot them up in some soil. And I ended up washing the leaves down and the stems down with some soapy water. I like to use Dawn soap and a microfiber cloth, and I make sure I got every crevice of all the plants, including the stems and the petioles, just everywhere that little creatures can hide. And here we are potting them up. Look at that beast. It's so shiny, it's so clean, it's so beautiful. Everything looked really great, and they all acclimated to the soil amazingly. And here I am doing the hydrogen rinse. I literally just did 50% water, 50% hydrogen peroxide, and I watered them to help with any rot.
I ended up putting the melanochrysum in perlite, but I have faith that these will grow some roots soon, and I am going to place it in that prop bin. And as far as everything else potted up really nicely, and I'm just so excited. I hope, really hope these don't make a decline anytime soon. Like I said, I'm going to be covering everything over the next month, so buckle in. We'll see how these guys do. Just hope for the best. I'm really hoping we'll get a new growth out of the elbow. I'm hoping that little spike on the crystallinum will start at least trying to emerge. I'm hoping we'll get a new little nub from the Frydek, and I really want to see a little bit of root growth from that melanochrysum. I am going to keep them here for that time, just to make sure there really are no pests. I did really scrub down the leaves today, so I'm pretty sure they're pest free, but just to be safe. And then also, since I just potted them up, I just want to keep that humidity going for now, and then slowly over the course of the next few weeks, I'll start to acclimate them to just being out in the open. So stay tuned. I'll check in with you guys later.
Hi friends, today is officially, well, tomorrow will be the 2-week mark since I have gotten these imports, and I am going to check on them now. I haven't really checked on them. I checked on them briefly a couple days ago, just making sure like everything was still okay, but I haven't actually like thoroughly inspected the plants. So I'm excited. I'm here in my spare bedroom. It's kind of a mess, as you can see there. But just as a first glance, the plants look pretty great. Okay, let's just take a look at them. So I have them still in the bin here. I've had the bin with the top off. So I've just been acclimating them to like the normal room humidity. And I've had a little water bottle in the bin too, just to help with like adding a little bit of extra moisture. They still have the grow lights. The grow lights are on a 12-hour timer, so you know they go on and off every 12 hours by themselves, which is amazing. If we look, I just checked on these real quick. If we look at the crystallinum, we have that new growth point there. That one was already there, so that was there in transit. So I think that one is dried off at the tip, so it's either gonna come in maybe a little crispy, or it might die off, which is fine. I don't know what these growth points are gonna decide to do, but we will just see and keep y'all updated. But
this is what it's looking like now. The leaves still look really good and healthy. It is kind of like more lopsided. I don't know what that's about, but they still look great. Like all of these leaves still look so healthy. Oh, it's so exciting. I checked around here. There's no like rotting or anything. Oh, there's even a new root coming in. If you can see right there, that new root. So that's awesome. Anytime there's new roots with Anthurium, a new leaf is bound to follow. Now I'm probably gonna leave this out for the night because the soil is still damp, which makes me kind of nervous because I don't want any root rot. So I might just leave it there for the night and then check on it in the morning. Next we have the elbow syngonium. So this leaf here fully unfurled, and oh, it has the teeniest little bit of variegation, which is so cute. I'm actually shocked the leaf came out so little. You know, this one came out while it was in transit, so I'm not surprised. It's actually really healthy too. And then we still have this leaf here that looks pretty variegated, and I didn't even see this. That's a new growth point. So this one is still doing really well. I thought this leaf will die off, but it's not. It's holding on. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. The soil on this is not, it's actually dry because it's in terracotta. My Anthurium, I still have in like a plastic one, so that's why it's holding on to so much moisture. So I'll probably have to water this one. Then we have the melanochrysum. I thought this leaf was gonna fall off for sure, but it's holding on like a trooper. This leaf still looks really beautiful. The new growth there did dry up, but I mean, I just, you know, only chopped off all its roots, so that's expected. There's no new root growth yet on the stem. I heard these guys are kind of tricky to propagate. I'm propagating it in perlite, so I don't know. I'm just really hoping for the best. Even though I do have a melanochrysum, this one is so beautiful and I would be devastated if I lost it. I do still have 2 nodes down in the bottom there. So there's 3 nodes total. So I do have some room if any of the nodes decide to rot off. And the most exciting update actually is the Frydek. So the leaf on the Frydek ended up coming off, which we all expected. But do you see that little nub there? That's new. So I don't know much about alocasias and their growth patterns, but I'm assuming that's a leaf. I don't think they send out roots at the bottom like that. I'm gonna double check, but that would be really exciting if that was a leaf. So hopefully we will get some new growth on that. So I'm just gonna keep this guy here on the outside so that soil can dry up a little bit, and he's right in front of the sun, so he's gonna get lots of natural light. And then these guys are still under the grow lights in the bin.
So it's officially been over a month, just by a little bit. It is August 17th, and I am happy to report the plants are still doing really, really well, which is amazing. This just ups my record of doing well with imports. I mean, I am not going to be importing plants like crazy, probably like ever, but now I definitely do have more confidence in my rehabbing, importing skills. Hopefully this could help you out a little bit. Just know it's not always going to work out, especially if it's your first time importing. Plants just go through so much stress, and that stress could just be so unpredictable. Imports are really hit or miss. I do see the plus of having them. You get really beautiful plants in the end, but also it's just like the money spent and the time waiting just for them to have to gone to shit. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to me. I mean, maybe if I find like a Hoya for a really good price. Anyways, so just a quick run through. You can see behind me, I have my Anthurium crystallinum that has done the best out of all of them, which, like, how freaking perfect are you still? It still hasn't lost a leaf.
I have left it out outside of the humidity tank, outside of the bin, because now I have pretty much all of them except for the melanochrysum and the Frydek. Both the other two are out living its normal life in my house, and it's so pretty. It has 4 leaves coming out. I don't know if you can see all those growth points there, but there's 4 leaves, and that's insane. I don't know if all 4 leaves are going to fully emerge, or maybe one of them might die off, or maybe they'll come out kind of weird looking. I don't know, but I'll keep y'all updated whenever the leaves do decide to come out. I'm just hoping they're as big as this, because that's just going to be so amazing. I am still completely in shock by this plant. I really just can't stop looking at it. Anyways, I probably maybe will spray this plant down one more time, but it's amazing. I really highly recommend that company, Chlorosoil. This isn't sponsored by any means, but if you didn't see my unboxing video, they did send me these imports just to like do an unboxing, but I am just blown away by how well they have all done. Even the Frydek that lost all its leaves, the corm is still really healthy, and it has a new little bump. You can kind of see it coming out, so that's definitely going to be a new leaf, and I just can't wait to see the leaf. But the roots are still really healthy. You can see that this stump is still really green. So once again, not even surprised this happened because it's an alocasia. But you know, you just really want to have a really healthy bulb with alocasias, and this one is so healthy. And probably my biggest regret is cutting off all those roots with my melanochrysum. Seeing how well these plants have done, I have no doubt that that root system would have been fine if I would have just trimmed the edges, but at the time I was just so like panicked on my previous imports, and yeah, I cut all of them, and I'm going to be so mad if I'm not able to propagate that plant successfully. But right now it is in my perlite box. I forgot to check it before I came and started recording, so I will put a video over it and a description on how it is. But hopefully it's doing well. I haven't checked on it in about a week. It was in the propagation bin down here. I had it in perlite, but then I moved it to like an actual perlite propagation box, and it has a bit higher humidity, so hopefully it's doing well. Hopefully it at least has a little root. And the last plant on this was my Syngonium albo, and that is also doing really well. It just shot out a really beautiful, or unfurled a really beautiful variegated leaf. The older leaf is dying off, but that is also expected, and it's an older leaf. It's still pest free. It's still really healthy. It is doing so well out in my normal living room environment on my grow rack with the rest of the plants. It's met the other girls. It's had a good time. It's acquainted. It's adjusted. It's home. It's vibing. Yeah. You know, just all the good things, and I'm so happy. And I would love to know what kind of imports you have been making lately, if any. And that's about it for this video. Don't know if I'm going to have another importing video anytime soon, but I will definitely share updates whenever I have them. I would love for you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Joined the millennial planter community. I welcome all generations. I hope you all are staying safe, sane, happy, and healthy, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!